I know. So improve but degree. Okay, what about but degree? No one you secret your fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be brave. UK degree and masters fully sponsored. Tie UK abai ebetimi amal up to £21,000 every year. Now what they are school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite, and now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so to me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from say we up to £21,000, no. I buy your school fees near the end amount. Any for 079 04 79 3019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nyesika nefetria wo fees, but degree.
Are you looking for a job as a general nurse, theater nurse, ODPS, community nurse, healthcare assistant, mental health nurses, midwives, sterile services, domiciliary services? Then look no further. Bright Stars Plus Healthcare Agency have vacancies with good pay rates in London, Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire, Cambridge, South England, West Midlands, Sussex, and North of England. To apply, visit www.brightstarplus.com or you can call us on 073 890 64632. The number again, 073 890 64632 or email info@brightstarplus.com. Bright Star Plus, the best in recruitment agency.
I believe in the sun.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? What's their inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
Listen to Aunties Mary, Lottie and Regina on the Family Enrichment Programme on Starr Radio UK. This and every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Some people are wicked because don't make it your business going about revealing
people's secrets. Don't be a busybody.
And some people. Today's typical family is under pressure from various directions. Divorce is on the increase. More and more of the Afro-Caribbean youth are taking to crime, etc. The Family Enrichment Program brings together a team of qualified experts to discuss and shed light on how we can make our families better and stronger. It is said the family can do without the society, but the society can't. Listen to the Family Enrichment Program this and every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, your favourite Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
Download our app in iTunes and the Google Play Store.
Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses, Bed of Roses. Voices of Esther brings you Bed of Roses this and every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Join our panel of experts to discuss issues within your relationships. Hosted by Doreen, you will be motivated and equipped to handle issues within your relationships. Remember, it is Saturday at 9:30 p.m. GMT. Don't miss it.
I'll lay you down on a bed of roses.
Hello listeners, my name is Ira Lucy. I invite you to join me on the Starr Personality Profile Show this and every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Starr Radio UK, where I will be talking to experts in their different fields to find out why they do what they do and what makes them exceptional in their various careers. This show is Starr Personality Profile on Starr Radio UK. Remember, the time is 6 p.m. every Tuesday. Download the app from your app store or join me live on all our social media platforms.
The IWFT team presents Footprints on Starr Radio UK with your host Oscar Bimpong every Thursday at 7 p.m. Starr Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean station in London.
The Prasad's Automotive provides affordable, high-quality after-sales service to Bentley and crew-built Rolls-Royce cars, charging only 60% of main dealer labour rates. We offer health checks, servicing, diagnostics, air conditioning servicing, four-wheel alignment, pre-purchase inspections, brake repairs, engine removal repairs, and dent repairs. We're a team of highly skilled engineers. David Prasad was employed at Jack Barclay for over 27 years. At the Prasad's Automotive, we have the knowledge, experience and facilities that equip us to deliver excellence and quality to our clients at a personal level.
I know. So person kowenim improve but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No when you secret your fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and our masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be brave. UK degree and masters fully sponsored. Say UK abai betimi amal up to £21,000 every year. Now what your school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite, and now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so bet me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from so we up to £21,000, no. I buy bet your school fees near the end amount. Any for 079 04 79 3019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nesika nefetria fees, but degree.
Are you looking for a job as a general nurse, theater nurse, ODPS, community nurse, healthcare assistant, mental health nurses, midwives, sterile services, domiciliary services? Then look no further. Bright Stars Plus Healthcare Agency have vacancies with good pay rates in London, Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire, Cambridge, South England, West Midlands, Sussex, and North of England. To apply, visit www.brightstarplus.com or you can call us on 073 890 64632. The number again, 073 890 64632 or email info@brightstarplus.com. Bright Star Plus, the best in recruitment agency.
I believe in the sun.
What's the hidden truth or mysteries behind the supernatural? Do angels really exist today? Is healings and miracles real? Can I hear the voice of God? Was there inspirations and challenges in ministry? Can my eyes be open to see beyond the natural? Can I operate in the gifts of the Holy Spirit? Can my dreams contain messages from God? My Journey is your one-stop destination to the supernatural on Starr Radio UK. Join your host, Captain Tete, this and every Saturday from 4 p.m. on My Journey, your one-stop destination to the supernatural.
The Prasad's Automotive provides affordable, high-quality after-sales service to Bentley and crew-built Rolls-Royce cars, charging only 60% of main dealer labour rates. We offer health checks, servicing, diagnostics, air conditioning servicing, four-wheel alignment, pre-purchase inspections, brake repairs, engine removal repairs, and dent repairs. We're a team of highly skilled engineers. David Prasad was employed at Jack Barclay for over 27 years. At the Prasad's Automotive, we have the knowledge, experience and facilities that equip us to deliver excellence and quality to our clients at a personal level.
I know. So pesa ukowenim. Improve wo but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No when you secretary of fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now dia ko school about degree. Our courses be bremu. UK degree and masters fully sponsored. Tie UK abai betimi amal up to £21,000 every year. Now dia your school fees about degree. So, how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite, and now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so bet me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from say we up to £21,000, no. Abai bet your school fees near the amount. Any for 07904793019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nyesika nefetria wo fees, but degree.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. Online, on mobile, soon on DAB. This is Star Radio UK, the leading African Caribbean radio station.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I will never last a day when you take your love away forever. I'm yours and ever. I want your love, 'cause you. Ain't nobody in the whole world like you. Listen, everybody wants to get to know my girl. Something in her makes you want to stop and stir. Her love is magic, she's so romantic, and she loves no one but I. A flash of her smile sends me feeling like a child, so free and wild. She's like no other, my only lover. Girl, a shining star, that's what you are.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Today is the second day of March 2018 and the time now is 10:40. And I say massive good morning to you all. But I want to sincerely apologize for the breaking transmission yesterday. Yes, the area had a power outage due to all this cold weather. And that affected the internet as well. So we had to come in this morning and everything, getting all the technicians and everybody working on their backside as if there's no tomorrow. But well, thank God everything is up and running, and that's why you can see me. Those of you on Facebook and on YouTube, on Twitter and Periscope, you can see me live there. And those of you listening to me through our apps and on the TuneIn, we are up and running. But first of all, let me say good morning to my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Frank Davids. Yesterday we had a very nice time, you know. Can you just imagine when you are in the place, there is no power, therefore you cannot get food to eat, there is no light, and people are saying they're going to be coming here, and then you cannot go anywhere, so you have to be hanging around for how many hours? Wow. So I can just imagine and sympathize with those who have been stuck on the roads wherever they are traveling, those who have been stuck there for hours on end. At least we had the privilege of having a toilet so we could get down and just go use the toilet and stuff like that. But if you're in the car and oh my goodness. But whatever the situation is, we are up and running. And this is Starr Radio UK. I'm the one and only Archie. I'll be joined by my colleague, Mr. Frank Davis and Olayomi Koiki. And exactly at 12:30, Olayomi will be joining us at 11 o'clock for updates from Nigeria. At 12:30, we'll be joined by the money man himself, Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, who's also been snowed in with the family at Chatham in Kent. Well. It's, let me say, a winter holiday. What about that? Yeah. So I salute you, each and every one of you. Let me say morning to Captain Tete, Reverend Michael Esiama, all of my Jenny fam, Doreen Carter, wherever you are. I hope you've not been snowed in wherever you are. To my second producer himself, Malik, good morning to you. Coach Joe Dake, hey, how are you doing? A special good morning also goes to Ambassador at Large, Mr. Kofi Ali, and to Mr. David Kluche and the Kluche family as well. Listen. I know you've all been snowed in, but hey, continue to listen to Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. I bet some people are asking me, why am I not taking my jacket off? It's kind of cool in here. We don't have the AC on, but it's cool. Okay, so whatever the situation is, you know what you can do for me? Those of you listening to me or watching me live on Facebook, just share the page with your friends and loved ones. And invite them to like our pages as well. I will never last today. When you take your love away forever, I'm yours and ever. I want your love. Now, my second producer sent a message, you know, a very interesting one. He said, do so in the studios of Star Radio UK. So it's not only Ghana. Malik, this one, it's not like Ghana do so. This one is because of the cold snap. So I think people were using so many gadgets and then the face, one of the faces went off. That's why. So it's not doom so. This is doom bra. Okay, so welcome to the show wherever you are. This is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And I'm saying good morning too. My brothers, Kwesi, Kweku, and Kwame, wherever you are, good morning to you. I hope you're all doing very well. I also want to say a special good morning to my lovely wife Lottie, who is at home listening to me. She's also been snowed in. But somebody will ask, so how did you get out then? Yeah, for the men, we are machoism. What about that? She's not been snowed in. She's working from home today. Okay, so let me say good morning also to Aunties Mary and Regina. All of my family fame. That's the family enrichment fame. To the apostle himself, Brother HB, wherever you are, good morning to you. Let me say morning to Ya and the girls, and I hope you are all doing very well. Though you've been snowed in, I hope that you allow the big man himself to do his work, the money man, so that when it's time for him to come on, there will be no interruptions there. I just seen Morocco Wizard just enter the studios. Yesterday, the doom so that we experienced here. This is not Ghana doom so. Ghana doom so. That one you have some heat. This doom so, is the one that you are chilling. Your stomach is trembling. Your body is hitting. Yes. But wherever I chase or wherever you are listening to us, just stay tuned, stay glued to your sets. Don't touch the dial at all. Like I said, I'm in a comfortable position. Allow me to put on my jacket. Yeah? Okay then, let me bring you the weather forecast, the quote for the day, and the travel update, and we'll move on swiftly. To bring you the other bits of the program. That is at 11 o'clock, we have Olayomi Koiki joining us. After which we'll be having a look at some of the stories making the rounds in the world today. After which we'll go on to 12:30 when our money man, Mr. Tabiri, will be joining us. There will be a continuation of the tax credits. You want some money? Listen to that program. He will put money in your pockets. From marriage allowance and to child tax credit and all the tax credits. He's going to be talking to you about it. But let me say good morning to Ya. I hope you are doing very Mrs. Evelyn Tabiri. And to Salome, yes, Mrs. Salome Ado, and Pastor Joseph Ado and the family in Milton Keynes, all of Bible Life Family Ministries, I salute you all. Good morning. To my producer herself, Oba Frances, I hope you are doing very well. Good morning to you. Okay, let me go to the quote for the day. I was thinking I would get a very nice quote for the cold weather, but I don't have that. But the quote is very, very mind-boggling. It says, great men are passionate to light the world. Great men are passionate to light the world. And I say it all the time, brighten the corner where you are. Maybe you don't have a platform like I have this platform, being on and sharing whatever my take is on the issues with the world. But wherever you are, whether the small community, maybe even in your home, you and your family, make sure you passionately light the world, and you know that you are a great man.
Makes you want to stop and stir. Hello, it's magic. She's so romantic, and she loves no one but I. A flash of a smile sends me feeling like a child, so free and wild. She's like no other, my only lover. Girl, a shining star, this what you are.
Okay, now let me take you to the weather and bring you the weather forecast. For those of you in London and the southeast of England. The story continues. The beast from the east meeting storm what? Emma. So let's see what is going to happen from there then. It's saying that there's going to be light snow and breezy. It's a cold afternoon with a brisk easterly wind, staying cloudy this afternoon with occasional snow giving way to more persistent snow from the south. And tonight, cold through tonight with a risk of ice once more. There will be further spells of snow at first, but these will tend to ease later on. There is a chance of some mist forming later too. Sunset is going to be at 17:42 and sunrise for tomorrow morning is going to be at 06:44 hours. Honestly, if you don't need to go out, there is no point. Just stay home, chill out, have a cup of tea, cross your foot, and then or your legs, and listen to Starr Radio UK. What about that? After all, today is Friday, the second day of March 2018. And hey, it is a Thank God It's Friday edition of the morning show.
She's so romantic and she loves no one but I. A flash of a smile sends me feeling like a child, so free and wild. She's like no other, my only lover. Girl, a shining star, that's what you are.
Okay, now let me take you straight to the roads. Let's see what's happening on the roads as well, because it looks like it is still going to be quite tricky and treachery whilst people drive. But stay tuned.
Check it out.
Well. So, it's not like you were not told. We are telling you now. So, if you have not left, don't. We know the warnings have been going on, the red and the amber and everything. So, please, make sure you heed to those calls because you don't want to be stuck in the cold for all those hours. Our heart goes out to those who have been stuck on the motorways across the country, wherever they are. And, 12 hours, 15 hours, it's quite troubling. So, if you have not left, don't. Please. On the underground this morning, Bakerloo line has got a problem there. That's minor delays due to an earlier signal failure at Queen's Park. And on the district line, we have minor delays between Turnham Green and Richmond due to a tree on the track near Gunsbury earlier. The minor delays between Elscourt and Ealing Broadway, Wimbledon due to a signal failure at Elscourt. On the LR Dockland Light Railway, severe delays between Canning Town and Bank Tower Gateway and between Canary Wharf and Bank due to faulty trains. London Underground are accepting tickets via reasonable routes. But if you want to know more, check before you leave or you embark on your journey because it's not a good weather to be playing about in at all, like I've said. It's not a good weather to be playing about. But on London Overground, no service between Highbury and Islington and Stratford due to a damage to the power supply caused by ice. No service between Surrey Quays to New Cross due to damage caused to trains by snow and ice. Minor delays between Highbury and Islington and Clapham Junction, Crystal Palace and West Croydon, and between Willesden Junction and Richmond due to a damage to trains caused by snow and ice. Tickets are being accepted on London Underground and London bus services. So you see, I told you. On the National Rail, Charlton Railways, special service, cross-country, special service, East Midlands trains, special service, First Trans Pennine Express, special service, Great Western Railway, special service, Great Anglia, special service, Island Line, special service, Mersey Rail, special service, ScotRail, special service, Southern, special service. And aside, the others are working smoothly though. Well, if you want to dare to go on the river buses, yeah, I want to announce that it all have got good services there. On the roads, 813, closures 820, closures 821, closures 823, closures 84, closures Central London Red Routes, closures South Circular 805, closures there as well. But at the side, let me say, keep your eyes on the roads, enjoy your commute for today, but keep safe and good morning. Well, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and the time now is 10:53, and this is the morning
Everywhere
show.
you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Okay, let me bring you my first music selected, one that will let you just get yourself in the group, put on your dancing shoes, dance and do whatever you want to do. And it's from North Tribe. It says Nyamiye, that is God is good.
You are listening to Starr Radio Morning Show.
Are you ready?
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
I know. So person him improve wo but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No when you secretary of fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be bremu. UK degree and masters fully sponsored. Tie UK buying ebetimi amount up to £21,000 every year. Now what your school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite. And now EU passport, 18 and now 55 years. When so bet me and your sassy KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from say we be up to £21,000, no. Abai betria wo school fees ni ade nyina ma. Any for 07904793019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nyesika ne fetria wo fees. But degree.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The time now is a minute after 11. But first of all, let me acknowledge my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Frank Davis, who is in the studio, and then acknowledge Mr. Olayomi Koiki, the colleague who is chilling at home. When I asked him whether he was out, he said, no. But Olayomi, we managed to come out. Wow. Let me say, morning, Frank.
Archie. It's a morning,
yes,
but a very cold morning.
Yes, I was telling listeners about our experience yesterday. It's like being stuck on the roads.
I pity those in the car, those in cars and stuck on motorways now. Yeah. Can you imagine being on a motorway? The traffic is blocked, your fuel is running low, and you have to keep the car running. To keep you warm. The next filling station is about 5 miles away. They say no service station. Next 5 months, the car is not moving. What do?
You have to get a gallon.
Your tummy will be actually jogging. Now the experience we had yet, but it's really cold.
It is.
It's really cold.
It is.
To the ladies out there, if you want to date, if you are looking for a well-built man to date, this is not the time, because most of the built men you see outside now is weather induced.
They are just loaded.
Weather induced. Olayomi.
10 layers. Let's see Olayomi. Maybe he's at home and Olayomi morning.
I'm telling you, good morning, Frank and Archie. You know, the weather is so biting. I did not half an hour, but 19-minute interview. Granted, with my daughter, yesterday in the snow, just to get a perspective, from the younger one.
Yeah.
It seems, it's always the adult that talks about the snow, and just to get the view. And I'm sure she was able to give, my viewers, as much information on the weather. And we also spoke about, what, we should expect, of Africa in terms of, and two things she said was food and water. I'm sure, we can't dispute that. You've just said it, Frank, being in this cold weather, and your fuel is running low, and even if you're still running low of fuel, and you can be able to get water, the tendency that you can still survive until the rescue team comes. Imagine no water, no fuel in the car. Well, you might then have to convert the snow itself, to drinking water.
Okay.
We can then use the African method by making sure that snow becomes water for us to swallow. Once again, it's Friday morning, and as it's Friday morning, we can also say it's countdown to the next election of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's actually, it is dropping day by day. The politics is heating up. The messages are heating up, and people are now also working close together. As of today, it's 351 days, to the next election. The biggest issue right now is the Tabiri girls. We know there's poverty, like we gave you on the update yesterday, the IMF complaining in terms of, poverty level in the country. let's look at the headline, and then we can also mention, what is happening, within the African community, or maybe some places you might want to be over the weekend right here in United Kingdom. In as much as it's cold, I'm sure activities still has to continue, no matter how cold the weather is. But the most important thing is don't take any unnecessary journey, especially on the motorway. You cannot compete with all these lorry jack, because some of them have enough food to can sustain them for the next 1 month, even if they get stuck on that motorway. And I'm sure you don't want to be on that same page with them. Foreign investment rise 138.7%, to 12 billion US dollars. Tinubu failed with spell doom, for APC, and that is, the Senator Sani. Amadu Ali, loyalty, steadfastness made me succeed as President Obasanjo, during a book launch. Is it not amazing that, most of these elderly people that have ruled the country or have been part of the government, are now, making books and then also advising, the youth, to participate. You can't sit behind the fence. But the question is, if you decide you want to be the governor of the state of any of the 36 states, you still have to go back to them. So, when they do all this book launch, you sometimes, laugh about it thinking, yes, they want the youth to participate, but the youth has to still, be appointed by these same, leaders that have ruled. And most of them, rule in their 30s, while even those in their 40s or 50s are still struggling to get, a ballot, position to be the next whoever they want to be in the country. Again, the road, bridges, and tax, what connection? Police begins mop-up of illegal arms in Anambra State. Also, we will prosecute Bello for double registration, says INEC. Who is Bello? Yaya Bello is the governor of Kogi State, and the INEC is saying we will prosecute him, for double registration. As I say, election is coming, and we will see a lot of those double registration in each of the states, in preparedness for this 2019 election coming very soon. Also, the update. I would have loved Ajimobi to go for another term. That is Oluyibadan. Who is Ajimobi again? One of the governor of Oyo State. Aisha Buhari, like we said yesterday, celebrate the return of the son on a medical trip. Also, in the update, as it is this morning, Sultan-led group attack federal government over girls' adoption. That is, the southern of Sokoto, groups attack federal government over the alleged, Dapchi schoolgirls. Also, infrastructure breaking gridlock as tanker falls on Lagos Abeokuta way. I'm sure I think we spoke about it during when I was mentioning the rail from Lagos to Kano. And let me just give our listeners a kind of insight for those that doesn't know the road network. Lagos is the hub that moves things out to the other 35 states of the country. But there is a particular axe, which is the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. On that expressway will lead you to the east, to the north. And, as we heard there, the tanker falls on that particular road because there's so many of these tankers moving high, inflammable, PMS, the petrol, the crude oil, traveling as far as the northern part of the country from Lagos, and sometimes, you could imagine, the kind of havoc, that could create. We are talking about the snow gridlock here, but imagine having a bad road network where the tanker falls and then it becomes more havoc, to all the people traveling on that same road. 3 ways to access the presidential candidate. Also, a 22-year-old remanded in prison for attempted murder. Once again, Army fails to identify the police involved in Oyo Park killing. Buhari congratulate Adeboye, Pastor Adeboye at 76. Restructure now before it is too late. That is Atiku. You wonder again. This is someone that has been the vice president for 8 years under, President Obasanjo regime, and now he's also saying we should restructure. I'm wondering what happened while they were in there that the restructure never took place. Once again, tax evasion is one of the biggest problems. We saw that in Facebook, Google, that they were operating some kind of dodgy tax system. Nigeria is the lowest in the world when it comes to tax. But now the minister for the country saying, Kemi Adeosun, that by end of March we would expose, disgrace and prosecute tax evaders, from March 31st. That is the Minister for Finance, Kemi Adeosun. Once again, just to finish up, the update, and then we might be able to look into one or two other stories as well in terms of the update, and then we can be able to speak with the studio, in terms of looking at some of what is happening back home. Let's just look at one more update, and then we can push in, the update itself into the Star Radio Facebook streaming as it's happening, and then we can also look at, some other issues, happening in the country, in United Kingdom over the weekend. Over the weekend, we will be having the Global Women's Summit that is happening right here in the United Kingdom. Also, there's going to be celebrating women's rights, which will be next week on the 10th of March. Again, women meant to be celebrated all over the world, but Africa, are we doing enough, to celebrate most of these hard-working women? And this is where I will leave it for now, and then I'm sure, we can then go through some of these updates, during the course of interaction with the studio. Once again, you're listening to Star Radio UK, your finest Afro-Caribbean radio station in the United Kingdom.
Yes, listeners, that is Olayomi Koiki bringing you updates from Nigeria and the Nigerian community across the globe. And like we say all the time, you want to do that, you want to represent your community wherever you are on the globe, we are able to extend and give you the necessary impetus for you to be able to do that. So get in touch with us and we will help you to do that. But Olayomi, yes, let me take it from the latter story that you put, where the Minister of Finance is saying that they are, by the 31st of March, they're going to be naming and shaming companies who are evading tax or having dodgy tax. Do you think that goes far enough? Because just saying that, Archie didn't pay tax, so we are naming him. It doesn't go far enough, because if I've taken the money, those who need that money to be used for water, to give them, what do you call it, clean water to drink, and to give them good roads. Meanwhile, I've been driving on that road as well, and all that, and you say just naming and shaming, it doesn't go far enough, unless they are going to put something in place to prosecute them or to retrieve those monies from them. I don't know what you think about that.
Well, we've got to give kudos, to the government, because since last year they've been giving them, the option, to come out and pay, some of this money. Some of them have not even paid tax, as due cost, but the government has been able to, be lenient with them. Even they extended it from March till end of from January till end of March, and we can also say, quite a lot of corporate organizations, I think they've made so much out of the repayment, the voluntary repayment is called, and not just the corporate body, even some individuals, that have quite a lot as well. But like the question you've asked is that enough? Well, we've got to remember, whatever can deter, can have impact, whether by naming, we don't know some of these companies, the government have the details. Some of them might be, operating outside in terms of, foreign, organizations. So if maybe naming them can have, impact, apart from being, company working in Nigeria, to other part of the, the world. I remember, just yesterday we were also discussing, some of the issues. The guy was withdrawing money in the country, and I was listening to Kofi Ali, with Frank and you in the studio, where individuals withdrawing huge amount of money and then saying you wanted to use it to pay, the staff, when that process should have been automated in kind of, through the banking system. And I'm sure naming and shaming them, yes, we go a long way. At least we can point out to say, you operating in this country, making huge amount of money. Remember, the numbers in Nigeria is where people are really making huge amount of money. I remember being in Nigeria, and I now realize that a lot of companies are now using sachet, to sell some of their produce. That means you could buy a milk in sachet rather than in tin, because you could sell more in sachet than selling it in tin. Now, if that company is selling the milk is not paying enough tax, at least those buying the milk, then will know that this particular company is not even paying back, even though they are selling so much, in the country itself.
Okay. Now, Frank, let me ask you a question. Now, we take. You see, there are smaller companies. Yeah. Okay. So if they don't, you look at their tax responsibility for the year, and compare that to, let's take a big company, organization like Facebook. Yeah. Or a massive organization. Yeah. Okay. And now you name and shame this small company. Okay. They those who patronize the product might decide, or the services might decide, okay, we want to show off, we wouldn't do that. But you take something like Facebook. Now, Facebook, nobody can actually say that we are competing with Facebook to that level. So people are still forced to use that. They cannot go do otherwise. So just naming and shaming them, I think it doesn't cut it for me.
Actually, there's one thing we must distinguish. People who avoid, or basically legally avoid tax, full tax responsibility, and those who refuse to honor their obligation. There are two issues here. For instance, if you look at the example you just about Facebook, Facebook honor its tax responsibility by using crooked and legally, legal means to actually avoid the tax as much as they can. And if it is £1 that they have to pay, they pay the £1. That is different from people who actually will stay off that I'm not just paying, whether legally or not legally, I'm just not paying. When it comes to the issue of naming and shaming, I think Ghana adopted a strategy like that a few years back. It would be interesting to know the impact that achieved, if any at all. One thing we do understand is it's about branding. If your image is going to be impacted negatively, you want to act a bit more responsibly. So that could. But the kind of consumer response that you will expect if it is in Europe, if it is in the UK, assuming the name, let's say, Asda today, as not paying tax, you will see some campaigners even trying to prevent people from shopping, and people will even stop. I look at Oxfam, for instance. About 80,000 people have cancelled their standing order direct debits to Oxfam just because of a sex allegation that were, those issues. That is the moral stand people take to protect and to make sure that the company they are spending their dollar, their pence with, behave responsibly. Are we going to get that same response from our people in Nigeria? I am not quite sure if that. The other thing we need to look at is some of those taxes, are there still monies that government can retrieve? Our auditors, have they not gone to share those monies with the companies? There are a lot of questions. So you might have money on your books, but in reality, those representing you might have taken a chunk of those money. They go, so this is our record showing that you owe us so this money. Pay this to me, pay this to me, and give us the rest. And some of the rest that they even take to go and pay to this and change the or rule out the person then they've already paid. They even consume it, and therefore they are so. It's kind of but I think the government must crack down on those who
tax invaders.
Those tax invaders that it has to do. It has to do.
Wow. Okay, now let's come to the Tabiri girls. Any information about them? We know that the military are doing their best at the moment, but we know that it's all playing against the APC. because that was a promise Buhari gave before coming into power, saying that he was going to deal with the Boko Haram. Now we have this that has gone on. Now we have 300 and how many days? 50. Is it 351 or 350 days for the election?
Well, to be honest, there's, like I said, there's just a lot happening, when it comes to what is the actual situation on ground. We've seen that now the federal government is putting out, the best, all their resources, to not allow, this situation of the Dapchi girls become something that would drag like the Chipo girls. We pray, that would definitely happen. I was listening to the Minister for Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, yesterday saying, yes, not that we don't want you to criticize the government, but also mention, some of what good things the government is doing. But the question you will ask is, the government was aware that, as of today, there's still, bomb blasts with the Boko Haram in the IDP area.
Yeah.
Let's even leave the Dapchi alone for now. The IDP camp has been going for so long that you would expect, by now they should have been relocated, but it looks like, that is not going to happen. Now we've got the Dapchi situation in our hand. That is still ongoing. We also have so many pickpocket of, so many things happening. And like you heard from that update, where the former vice president in Atiku now also saying, even though he has already shown his interest to be the next president as well, by leaving APC back to PDP, saying we need restructure. So many things happening that, the government have, to work very fast. I was listening to, one of the commentators on one of the news media in Nigeria this morning, and the guy said, based on the transparency report, it would take himself, 80 years, before we can have a change, where we will be in the score line of about 5 to 10. And that was quite alarming, because if you look at the way, corruption is in the country, and based on his analysis, giving us a lot of inside information where, corruption has now become, like a prostitute in the country where everybody's just jumping on it. And, based on that, IMAC, where we were expecting this government, Frank says that all the time, you say that, this government came in on the landmark of corruption, and yet corruption is still not going as far as anything, as a tortoise. That means it will take me 80 years, before corruption could become, a thing of the past in the country. And that is quite very, very scary.
But some news coming in is saying that the president's fight against corruption in Nigeria has boosted its international image, and that's, bringing in more investors into the country. How true is that then?
Well, I don't know where. Yes, there might be. Investors will always want to come in. When they see an opportunity. And we know. The investors really want to come into Africa because we have the biggest population of manpower. In total. So yes, investors will come in, even regardless of some of the security threat that we might be mentioning, or some of the But the question is again, are they coming in paying the right tax, or are they coming in, just to take out, what they can take, and then they are not also reinvesting the money back? And when we say they are coming in, what do we mean by they are coming in? If Toyota, for example, comes in and they've actually, produced everything, wherever they're bringing it, and they're only coming in to assemble it in any part of Africa, that is not helping, the nation itself or the continent. We need, industry to be created on ground, not bringing out, things that have already been completely finished and just to come and assemble, in any part of Africa.
Wow. Listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is a Friday edition of the morning show. We have with us Olayomi Koiki bringing us updates from Nigeria. Now, finally, before we go, you did talk about Yaya Bello, who has done a double registration, and the Electoral Commission is saying that we are going to prosecute him. Now, you see, when we come to the custodians of the law, I know Frank will definitely have something to say about that, because it's not only peculiar to Nigeria, but in Ghana and other West African countries, we have people doing the same thing. Now, most people will take, younger or underage children to go and register. Now, this man, he was trying to play a fast one. He decided to register twice. Now, was he going to vote here and then go to another place, being prominent, to vote again?
Archie, did he do it deliberately?
Okay, that's another question.
That's another question because did they scrap the old register? You know, sometimes we say we are registering.
Yeah.
But that would be some of the defenses you could put out. That, well, I thought we registering. I think although I've registered over there, I thought I could do a new registration over here. But if he's actually doing a second registration, let's say knowingly, then I think the law must work. And unless we set examples using reputable people, then the law becomes selective.
Okay.
Which, in my view, is not right. If we want to respect the law, it has to be applicable irrespective of whoever is caught in the net. If it can be proven that he actually double registered with the intention of double voting and cheating, then I think the law must take it full course and he should be given the severest punishment ever in the history of double registration in Nigeria as a well, because he's a prominent figure.
Yeah.
He's someone that is publicly known. So if we want to get the law working or set an example, then he is the classic example that we could. I wouldn't want any prison sentence. I want huge sums of money.
Okay.
Because a fine, huge sums of money being asked. Because at the end of the day, Electoral Commission, INEC might need some of those money to police the ballot box. So let him get.
Let me just give a little bit, based on what you were just saying there, just to get a little bit of the inside story, especially for those of our listeners out there. Report that INEC on February 26th issued a temporary voter card to the governor after applying for transfer to his permanent card from Abuja to Okene in Kogi State. INEC last year declared the second registration done on May 23rd at the government house, Lokoja, as illegal and contrary to the Electoral Act. Electoral body, through one of his National Electoral Commission, Mr. Emmanuel Shobi, said that the registration, which was done outside the designated registration center, also amounted to double registration, which is a criminal offense.
Right.
Again, Shobi said that Bello did his first registration at Wuse in Abuja on the 30th of January 2011. So you can see that, it's not a crime to have your voter register moved to a different location.
Yeah.
He was actually having it in Abuja, but I think during when he knew that the election was coming up in the state, he then won't move it back. But based on that story that we've just said there, I'm sure people and those listening will have a better insight of the story itself.
Yeah, and the other thing that I think we should be looking at, he has to tell his story why he did.
He had that double registration.
Why he did what he did. Sometimes it could be as a governor, will he be doing that as a symbolic sign to show people to
go and
re-register, where sometimes protocol demands that all security clearance understanding is made, and probably that become a bit of not a good example to cite, but sometimes we want to really support towards the cause. Could it be that? I'm playing the devil's advocate, eliminating all the possibilities that could have led him to make that decision. But if all those possibilities, which could be reasonable, common sense would dictate that they could be accepted, if those explanations are given, or could divide opinions whether it's right or wrong, if all are eliminated and the conclusion is that he did this knowingly, then I think punishment should be meted to him. Yeah.
But Olayomi, let me ask you this: saying that for every rule there is an exception, do you think that if found guilty he will be punished?
Well, not at the moment, because he still has the immunity as the governor of the state until after his tenure as the governor. Then he will have, his case, in the court of law. But right now, immunity has covered him, and he won't be able to be prosecuted or taken to any court at the moment. Just before I finish up, it's always good to still mention that minor gate is still ongoing. And for me, it's quite alarming when you still see this man bringing out some headline himself saying, Minor seeks to join, the Attorney General of the Federation to sue against the National Assembly. Is that not amazing that someone that is now being, again, persecuted or been about to persecute also want to fight back, the National Assembly? What a good time to be alive, witnessing so many things happening all over the world. But I'm sure we will love so many activities, like I said, over the weekend. And on Monday morning, we'll be able to give you where we are on Star Radio, reporting in every hooks and corners, regardless of this weather in the United Kingdom, back to all our listeners all over the world. Thank you very much.
Olayomi, before you go,
yes.
You mentioned something about immunity. I just want to get an understanding that, because I know Ghana, for instance, the parliamentarians have immunity.
Okay, whilst in parliament.
Which I do find very problematic. Because some of those immunities, once they leave the corners of parliament, it should not apply. It's just like when you are being pursued and up to date. The other time we were talking about the churches, and some people do understand that when you run into a chapel, the police are not supposed to enter, because the churches they are giving special status. It's just like embassies, you run into them. I do have difficulty with immunity that is granted to our parliamentarians to a large extent, because yes, we understand that they operate within a very difficult environment, but some of them abuse it. Okay? Yeah. When they do that, you want to, and to date, in Ghana, I can tell you that some people want to continue to be parliamentarian because they want that protection of being
for a very long time.
For a very long time. Now, the question I want to find out from, do we have that same immunity procedure in Nigeria, where parliamentarians, Senate are
members of the Senate, and
because for me it's wrong. In this country, we've seen MPs being hauled and MPs being jailed. That is when they become accountable.
Yeah.
But if we blanketly give MPs immunity, I find it very, very, very difficult.
They took
advantage undue advantage of them.
Olayomi.
Yeah. Well, yes, the governors of the whole 36 states, the president, the vice president, yes, are still under immunity until, the tenure of their, that finish. Yes, there has been a lot of reprisal about it in terms of, individuals and all these saying that, yes, the governor, should not be under any immunity. And like you said, what then happens is we'll see these governors finishing, and their next seat is to be also a senator. So that means as they are leaving the governorship post, they also want to be a senator.
Yeah.
And what they do is in the last phase of their, their tenure, they do everything to make sure that they get that seat of the senator, and that becomes, a big problem as well.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Interesting.
And that's what applies to Ghana. If you look at people like the DC chief executives, some of them misappropriate funds at that local level.
Yeah.
And all they want to do is to go and hide
and then pick
MPs.
Yeah.
We should be able to, strip some of this immunity. I understand once the House is seated in Parliament, we should respect the August House. The police cannot go there irrespective of what and arrest someone who was in Parliament. But once you leave the corners of that, and that title of even honorable does not apply to you any longer once you leave over there, if you commit crime, you should be able to be investigated, and the police should have the ability to actually arrest you and prosecute you fully. If we're able to do that, I think we'll be bridging that gap between the political elites and the ordinary citizen in the eyes of the law.
Olayomi, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll speak to you all later.
Right.
And Olayomi, I got your message. I'll respond to it.
Okay, he's gone. Well, listeners, this is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let's see. Hello.
Hello, this is Kofi Ali.
Yes, Kofi.
Yes, Kofi.
I think we are, I think, misconstruing the concept of immunity. And we need to set the record straight. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
And to my brother Olayomi Koiki. The MP immunity does not say that if an MP commits an act that is obviously a crime, should not be taken to court. There is no that law. It is different from the kind of immunity the president has got. The case of the president, as stated by the Constitution, and I'm talking about Ghana, is that if any Ghanaian think any public official, including the president, has violated the Constitution, such person should seek redress in the court of law, the Supreme Court preferably, and the president must give an answer. But when you come to the members of parliament, they are not covered as such. So a member of parliament is driving his car and he kills somebody on the way. We say he's a member of parliament, so he's exempted. We shouldn't take him to court. If he drives and breaks the traffic rule, the member of parliament will be punished. That is what the Constitution clearly says. We drag him to court. So we should get, that is different from the governor in Nigeria. There is a difference between a member of parliament and a governor or president in Nigeria. A governor is the chief executive officer of the state, and there are 36 of them. That Constitution exempts them and gives them a certain level of immunity. Even with that, there was a case in Jos Plateau State, with a man called Daria under President Obasanjo. Daria was found to be culpable of money laundering. And what did they do? He was suspended from office pending investigation. Even that, his immunity was not covered. So we should not use that position, that because they are senators,
okay,
or because they are members of parliament in Nigeria, member of our House of Rep.
Okay, Kofi.
No, they are not covered by anything.
Kofi, let's...
It is our inability to use the law to change them and prosecute them that make them get away with certain things.
Okay.
When they do their thing on the floor of parliament, it's different from when they do their thing in the public.
Okay, Kofi, let's thank you for that that intervention. Let me bring you a case in a case, a practical case to deal with. And I'm taking this from an example that occurred in Ghana, and that was 2006. The graphic reported on Monday, the 27th November, that the police arrested a member of parliament for Senate Brong-Ahafo region, Mr. Felix Chumese Apia, for his alleged involvement in 1 million gold scam. And this is I'm referring to 2006. Mr. Chumase said that the police station that he was informed that the regional commander wanted to see him only for basically conversation. Now, when you go down, and this is what interests me, Honorable Bagbin, who is a member and still a member of parliament, said on the floor of parliament, and this is what where I'm interested in, said on the floor of parliament that MPs, that he stated that as a result of the privileges MPs enjoyed, they were laid down procedures. Okay, they were laid down procedures, and that the police should respect the procedure when arresting a member. In his words, a member of parliament is not above the law, but there are procedures and clear framework on how to deal with an MP who breaches the law. This brings to bear the overstretching of our parliamentarians on the personal immunity granted to them. Now, the argument over here is that if I commit certain crimes, I can be arrested
there and then, or wherever you are.
But this is a member of parliament. This is what they are saying, that the law lays down certain procedure which should be followed before an MP is arrested. Why should that be the case? And that's my question. Because, Kofi, you see, when you look at the 1992 Constitution, it grants them personal immunity. But they are saying that, yes, you can be arrested, but you must first come to Parliament or you must follow. In this country, if you have, even if you are a suspect, and I can be arrested and questioned, why can an MP who is also a suspect be arrested? That is a question, that's a challenge to us. Because if we do...
Yes.
Yeah. Kofi.
Okay, Kofi, come on. Yeah. Hello.
Yes, quickly.
Yes.
Let me come in.
Malik, hold on for a minute.
Hold
on for a minute. I'll put you on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Kofi, go on.
And the intervention of Alban Bagbin.
Yeah.
What Alban Bagbin is saying is the procedure in dealing with an MP. Remember, he's a politician.
Yeah.
So certain things may be politically motivated than the normal procedure of the law. Now, arresting an MP, is even arresting an ordinary person for an offense regarding corruption. It's not normal. What you do, you invite the person, or you is to make sure that the person is aware there is this case. The purpose of arrest, why police involved in arresting people in Ghana, is because such person may elude or run away. And when they need him to appear in court, he will not be available. In the case of an MP, he can't run away to anywhere. So what Bagbin is saying is, if the police have a case, they should proceed to court. The MP will be invited. We want to see the law in Ghana that say an MP should not appear in the court of law to defend himself.
Kofi, hold on. Kofi, hold on. Let Malik come, because you said something that we need to interrogate. Why should police proceed to court before they arrest someone when if I am in that same position, I'll be arrested before they proceed to court? Malik.
Malik, yeah.
Good morning, Bryce. Good morning to you, Brother Frank. And then good morning to my big brother, Kofi Ali.
Yeah.
You see, you mentioned something about the High Commission.
Yeah.
That if there's anything and you run to the High Commission, it's like you are in Ghana. And the state here cannot arrest you, which is true. Now, it's the same as the Parliament. A parliamentarian cannot be arrested in the House of Parliament.
Yeah.
In that building.
Yeah.
From Parliament to his house, he cannot be arrested. And from his house on his way to Parliament, he cannot be arrested.
Okay. So where can he be arrested? If he's going for a funeral or something else?
Yes. And then he can only be invited by the police through the Speaker of Parliament. He can be invited. Like Kofi said, it's not above the law. But if he's on his way to Parliament or on his way back from Parliament, he cannot be arrested. He can be invited, but through the Speaker.
Okay, so Malik, my issue here is, if he leaves his house towards Parliament, it is assumed that he has begun official duty.
Yes.
And if he's leaving his Parliament to his house, it's assumed that it's part of that official duty.
Thank you.
That I understand. It's just like pastors who say, but the moment you leave your house as if you are coming to church, let your mind be tuned towards God. Now, my question again is, why must they, apart from that route, yes, you cannot be arrested when in Parliament. So that journey, they assume that you are in Parliament. Apart from that, when you are not performing a parliamentary duty, okay, you are not in Parliament, you are not on way. Why should I inform Speaker of Parliament, who probably he's my friend, say, hey, they please want me.
Lila, you won't get it.
No, if he's not performing any duties, and you have that proof that he's not performing, he can be arrested.
Okay.
It's just like if he's a parliamentarian, it's a bit difficult to prosecute him because of the image. But once he leaves Parliament and becomes a former MP, he can be prosecuted.
Yeah, but Malik, don't you think that
we have a case now? You know this
Abu Gapele. Yeah, he was a parliamentarian.
Yeah, he was a parliamentarian.
Yeah.
See, now that he's out of Parliament, he'll be prosecuted.
Yeah, but
if he were still,
Malik, don't you think that the law makes provision for that? But don't you think we have to have a second look at the law again. That the law is not actually helping us, and probably change it and reform it to what is being practiced here. Yeah.
Let me make another point.
Yeah.
You know what? An MP who had a dual citizenship but did not declare and went into parliament.
Yeah.
At that time, they couldn't arrest him. What they did was to write to parliament. And they gave they made a case out of it.
Yeah.
And then a witness from his constituency took the issue to court.
Yeah.
So yes, so that was how come they got him convicted as well. It's a bit delicate. It's a bit delicate in dealing with the parliamentarians.
So maybe that is their immunity that we're talking about.
And that's why the difficulty.
You have to come and wait for them at the door when they go for funeral.
But see, as it says, once you have a pencil, you have an eraser. There's always a way around.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, right. Thank you, Malik.
Right. But tell Kofi that we haven't started.
Kofi said you've not started yet too. Thank you very much, Malik.
Then we are coming back to start. But quickly, let me add something.
Yes,
my brother
on.
Malik.
Go
You see, we should not use the word prosecution to mean automatic arrest. To prosecute somebody means to prepare him and work with him to the court of law. The arrest, that is detention and imprisonment, is the decision of the court or fine. Guilty or not guilty is the business of the court. It's not the business of the police.
Yeah.
And therefore, what we are saying, in order not for politicians to be witch hunt, particularly members of parliament, to be able to do their job without fear or favor, without being witch hunt and entrapped. That is why we said there should be a clear procedure. When they have done something wrong, we expect them to live as honorable people. When you say honorable, someone who is doing something that he knows what he's doing and doing it from the bottom of his heart with all sincerity and not committing any crime along the line. I don't know what we are talking about.
And we understand where, but practically that is not the case we see.
And we do not want a situation where party in government will be using the security forces to be intimidating members of parliament so that they can feel free and do their job. But when a member of parliament goes about in his community impregnating all the girls, when he goes around dipping his dirty hand into all the kitties of the community, and the members of the community then feel this man is crossing the line, they have a duty to go to court. And when they go to court, if the court is able to have enough evidence and then get the person to go for certain sentence, that person automatically will lose his seat because you must be in parliament for a number of certain period within a sitting session. That when you meet that number of period, you automatically lose your seat. Therefore, we should understand the parliamentarians, the constitution is clear. The laws are right. It's the way we are interpreting and going about it that is wrong.
Okay.
So we need to watch carefully so that we can be able to have politicians that will serve us based on the mandate we've given them as members of their constituency without fear or favor, so that they can speak from their heart and represent the truth in defense of the Constitution and the laws of Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi Ali. Okay, so that's Mr. Kofi Ali for you. But it's Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Maybe you think otherwise about this immunity that's been granted. People in political leaders or
people in high places.
In high places. Maybe you think otherwise. You think that maybe, hey, we need to make sure that, hey, when they leave office, maybe 10 years before you go and chat them and stuff like that. Whatever you think, we wanted to bring it on and let us hear from you. Okay, we'll take a commercial break, and once we come back, we'll continue with the show. But we're talking about some of the news making the rounds here. The governor of the Bank of England, I'm going to say Bank of Ghana, Bank of England has said that cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin should be regulated to crack down on illegal activities and protect the financial system. McHaney has warned. So it's something that is looking at that if we don't do something about it, it's going to cause another Armageddon.
No, I mean, the fact is that the system, what do you call it, the established system is being challenged. And that is what is happening. That the dollar and the pound, the euros are feeling the pinch. Because even now, shops are accepting some of these currencies. You can buy, pay things online with these currencies. And I think they're looking at it as because it's having an impact. I mean, the American dominance is partly linked to its dollar. I mean, if you look at even our country, Ghana, a president can give a farmer an award and wish you a check in dollars. That every price, was it 2 days ago that the vice president was talking about how they're going to fight crime and CCTV. We had our Ghana currency, but they said what? 1.5 million dollars. Everything, anytime they open their mouth, it's about dollars. Meanwhile, you people preside over a country you call a sovereign state, call it an independent state, and you are preparing in the next 4 days that you're going to celebrate independent, independent 61st independent of the country. But anytime you talk, whenever it comes to a monetary term, everything you are doing is in dollars. It means you even don't believe in the country you claim you are governing. How many times have you heard a governor over here, someone over here quoting dollars?
No.
They don't.
It's the pound. Because the pound has got value.
China will quote in yen, in their what they call it, India money. You can convert it. But in our part of the world, Zimbabwe ministers will quote dollars. Kenyan ministers will quote dollars. Nigerians are better because they quote Naira more than we do. But Ghana, from the presidency to the, what they call me, the cleaner, we are quoting dollars.
I know Kofi is listening to us and he is going to say that
ECOWAS.
If we have our currency, we will be all championing that cause. But we'll take a quick break and once we come back, we will bring you the rest of the news making the rounds. But remember at 12:30 exactly, we'll have our money man joining us. And he says, tax credit. You want to put some money in your pocket.
But make sure those monies are not in dollars.
We are in pounds.
We are in Europe. We are in the Queensland. The Queen don't like it.
Okay, so stay tuned.
Driving in a storm, how I fit see ahead. Weather forecast a bit nippy ahead. Beggars can't choose, but be picky instead. 9 to 5 blues, kick me, I'm dead. Dead. Cross my T's and dots my eyes. Stress way, they my chest I ostracized. Do I treat you man, Robert, you smell the ties. Me and I dream be a yaka, I'm cutting ties. My jala be a tailor made, all customized. My English straight pigeon, all bastardized. What I for do? Ignore the bastard guys. I work, they snore, I pass those guys. Thank God it's Friday, of course my mind day. Rise and shine your eye, hustlers wait. All week long we hustle and slave. Trapped in enclaves for wages and pay. Cooking in the morning, ensure that Vim day. Weekend so strong, helps to shine the weekdays. Mommy say, son, well, God be praised. Well, these days, money be wild, we day some way. I bathe in faith, no bathe in apes. A basic case of faith in something great, but still, from 6 to 6 with stones and bricks, I build in a future, I hope I live to see and shit. I barely know sleep, hit me some way. Boys, I bread all week, hit me some way. Boys, I living no we cheat, hit me some way. But thank God it's Friday. Maybe Jimmy did it, doom so, some way. If we are born in Soto, hit me some way. My woman, my dog, hit me some way. But thank God it's Friday. Maybe Jimmy my gets mini aje. During the week I'm busy, mini adaje. But I still
Starr
put in
Radio.
work, sick of dodging.
Radio
I'm even
for the
up before the
people,
sun sets
by
my
the
shit.
people.
So it's 5 on Friday, any ache. Make up verbs, I could chum and I say. Health is wealth, I give thanks, me da say. My use my weirdest might to buy a sassy. Why wouldn't him say, hustle know they nap, hustle know they sleep, hustle know they slack you make wild on the streets, hustle know they vex or stress about beat. RIP, laziness, lay a week. Dance with the struggle, got a million needs. We've been up in here along like Brazilian weaves. One of weekdays filled without brilliant deeds. Weekends we can enjoy what resilience breeds. I bathe in faith, not base with snakes. A basic case of me and fake know that relates. From 6 to 6, we stone some bricks, build a future risque, shine stone and flicks. I barely no sleep, hit me some way. Boys I bread all week, hit me some way. Boys are living no be cheap, hit me some way. But thank God it's Friday. Maybe Jimmy needed a doom so some way. The real boy in Soto, hit me some way. My woman boy, my dog, hit me some way. But thank God it's Friday. Maybe Jimmy needs sleep. Bug on my emery. Some way, girls are bread, no be boys bed. Some way, my you be on my head. Some way, thank God it's Friday. Ha, bug on my emery. Some way, girls are bread, no be boys bed. Some way, my you be on my head. Some way, thank God it's Friday. Let's be how we go do it. Me say, driving in a storm, I can't see shit. All week long, sink or swim, that's it. Staring at the clock, doesn't move, does it tick? Time
This is Starr Radio UK.
Driving in a storm, how I fit, see ahead. Weather forecast a bit nippy ahead. Beggars can't choose, but be picky instead. 95 blues, kick me, I'm dead. Driving in a storm, how I fit, see ahead. Weather forecast a bit nippy ahead. Beggars can't choose, but be picky instead. 95 blues, kick me, I'm dead. I barely no sleep, hit me some way. Boys I bread all week, hit me some way. Boys are living no be cheap, hit me some way. But thank God it's Friday. Maybe Jimmy need some way, be. Hit me some way, be. Hit me some way, be. Maybe Jimmy
The Prasad's Automotive provides affordable, high-quality after-sales service to Bentley and crew-built Rolls-Royce cars, charging only 60% of main dealer labor rates. We offer health checks, servicing, diagnostics, air conditioning servicing, four-wheel alignment, pre-purchase inspections, brake repairs, engine removal repairs, and dent repairs. We're a team of highly skilled engineers. David Prasad was employed at Jack Barclay for over 27 years. At the Prasad's Automotive, we have the knowledge, experience and facilities that equip us to deliver excellence and quality to our clients at a personal level.
I know. So person kowenim improve but degree. Okay, what about so but degree? No when you secretary of fees. Exciting, huh? Yes. Say your first degree and now masters. UK abai betimi amal grant and now scholarship and financial support. Now they are school about degree. Our courses be bremu. UK degree and masters fully sponsored. Tie UK buying ebetimi amount up to £21,000 every year. Now what your school fees about degree. So how do you go about it? A simple cry. Gem Educational Consultants ever born with your application. Now also what me and your KB. Now what your degree. So British passport, indefinite, and now EU passport. 18 and now 55 years. When so bet me and your KB. Now what your degree. Even for first degree, no. Apart from say we up to £21,000, no. Abai bet your school fees near the end amount. Any for 079 04 79 3019 or visit us at 51 Albany Road, Hornchurch, RM12 4RE. Email pastorjoeka@yahoo.com. Nesika nefetua fees, but degree.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Come Monday, we'll be having another introduction to the program. From 12:30, we'll be having Reverend Joe Anochi, who is the boss man of the GEM. That's the commercial that you just heard a moment ago. He'll be throwing more light on how we can educate ourselves. Some of us think that, oh, now, like if I want to go get a degree and all that stuff, it's going to be difficult. I wouldn't have the means to do it. But he, like you heard the announcement, the government has monies that is sitting and it's available for if you have your stay here in the UK, you have your what do you call it? All the necessary documents. I mean, you are legally allowed to live in the UK. You can educate yourself. So from Monday, we'll be bringing him on at 12:30 when he comes on, and he throw more light on that for you, so that you will know that you can do something with your life. No matter the courses that you want to take or the ones that you've taken in the past, you can still. So far as you've got this head, the head there, you will be able to get something out of it. All right. It's now 11:59, almost 12 o'clock. But this is Star Radio UK, and this is the morning show. Let's go on and have a look at some of the stories making the rounds in the world today. Now, this morning, some worrying stories that came in was the trade wars that that Trump has just started. And he said the U.S. is losing billions of dollars on trade, the president says, after announcing new tariffs. And therefore, he has announced a tariff that is increasing taxes on imported, steel to their country. That's especially which comes from China. And the Chinese have also now decided that they're also going to raise their taxes, also retaliate by putting, some taxes, raising the taxes on the food stuff and other stuff that they also import from the US. Yeah. And I'm looking at it, and like we saw at the time, we see UK leaving the EU. Whatever happens, there's going to be a leave, whether soft or hard. And we ask ourselves, as a community, as Africans, as Caribbeans, are we able to put ourselves together to come from a formidable front, a united front, to say that, look, okay, we're not selling any cocoa, no more gold, the oil we are not selling, we are holding on to it, so that we can also say we will be able to regulate the prices. If we cannot even put the taxes on, we can regulate the prices in a way so that people, people when they look at us can also say, yes, sir. Frank.
Archie, you are asking a politically impossible question. I don't see it happening. Interestingly, I was just having a conversation with a man who just came from Kenya just a few minutes ago, and he was saying that we got to a point where, as blacks, the fact is we are now caught in a web of policies, procedures, and other stuff that is going to take us, unless a natural disaster or something happen, it's going to be very difficult for us to entangle ourselves from the kind of systems that have been designed, put in place. And I was saying, okay, fine. I know it will not happen in our lifetime, but if we can also start, now that we've understood fully, some will argue not fully, partially, that the ropes and the chains that we've actually put around our own necks and feet and legs, and we cannot move. How about if we start designing systems that will start unlocking some of those systems bit by bit, so that in 50 years time, at least, generations before that comes after us will endure a bit of freedom, as I call it. I say, just make sure you are not eliminated before your design starts. It's a very, very difficult situation. Yeah. Trump came. I'm not surprised, and I'm surprised in one way that we have not seen it already. That he's taking that long to be implementing or calling for some of this, because that was the campaign message.
Yeah, American first.
American first. And if you look at everything that he's doing in terms of trade and other things, it's about American first. The bottom line is that we, the consumers, are those who suffer. American, someone buying something in America will suffer. Prices of properties will go up, because at the end of the day, if you are forced to buy steel in America, yes, I understand you create jobs and other things, and it's going to increase the price of properties that are going to be built out of those steel. Then basically you also expect to pay more price when you actually buying those properties. But at the end of the day, you look at it, it's trying to protect America. And I'm not surprised that China has also decided to respond. Yeah. When can we respond as Africans? That's the question. What are we importing, and what if we respond and the exporters say, okay, we are not sending these goods to Ghana again? Do we have alternatives? Yes, I would say yes, to a large extent. On certain goods we have alternatives. And I would love to see taxes on, let's say, rice imports, things that will produce alternatives in Africa. I think tax should be used as a tool to basically control the way they come into the country so that we do not undermine what we produce in our country. So yes, I mean, Trump he's protecting America, and we also have to think how to protect ourselves. And I can't fault him. You know,
a few of the countries maybe have the tariff. I mean, went from 10% to 25%.
That's huge.
That's very huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, and then Canada and EU said they will bring forward their own countermeasures.
Yes.
So they are getting themselves together, going to do that. Now, Mexico, China, and Brazil have also said they are also considering retaliatory measures. But what about us?
Yeah. That is the question. That is the question. So you across every corner of the world, people are responding. But for us, we are not, and we import a lot.
Yeah.
From they will tell you agua. You know, they have this program where they allow access to African countries. Have access, preferential access to the U.S. market. But if you look at the products or the goods that comes under agua, there are things that they do not have competitive advantage in. Are you getting me? So if you're going to send mangoes from South Africa or Kenya to under agua to US, they do not have a competitive advantage in that organic mango. They do not. They produce mangoes, but with chemicals. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So if you're sending what they call it, and agua, you're sending mangoes to this, and you think they've offered you an opportunity to trade over there, and therefore they're doing you a favor. No, it's because there's a taste and demand for organic mangoes, which they cannot produce and they do not produce, and therefore they want to satisfy that consumer that consumer market. So strategically, they're benefiting from both hands.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? We also need to respond, but the question: what are we going to sell?
Yeah.
What are we selling? The volume of trade. What is the deficit? Do we have alternatives? Those are the basic questions that we need to respond to. If we cannot provide the basics, then I do not think that we stand a very good chance. There are certain things that we could respond, like the mining sector.
Yeah.
We could strategically respond.
Yeah, the cocoa.
The cocoa, we strategically respond. If you look at platinum and other things, we could strategically respond, but it's not happening. It's not going to happen. Do you know why?
Why?
Because most of all those mines are controlled by their own people.
Yeah.
I get me. Yeah. They are controlled by their own people. In the name of what they call foreign investment, and therefore, although they are in your country operating, your decisions or the decisions of those companies, whatever you do, are controlled again by them. It's a very difficult situation, Archie.
So you can decide that we don't want to sell the gold, but they are the ones mining it, and they will take it away.
Sometimes when I think of all this, and I wish we can have a blanket coup, stage coups, soft coups, I call them. That will stage,
like the Venezuelan one.
Will stage the soft coup, abrogate all the contract and start all over again. But they'll say they will not loan us money again. We say yes. President Akufo-Addo said Ghana, Africa without aid. So let's stage coups and abrogate all those mining contracts. Yeah, if military. We suffer for 5 years and we begin.
We'll start afresh.
We'll start afresh. Anglo Gold is controlled to a large extent by Australians.
Oh yeah.
Controlled a large extent by Australians. So I think we might have to look at how we could cause a bit of shake within the system, and that's the only way we're going to be able to reverse some of all these decisions.
Wow. A shake in the system, and there's a shake going on at the moment. News coming in says an explosion rocked Burkina Faso's army headquarters in the capital, Ouagadougou, on Friday, and black smoke could be seen billowing above, a Reuters witness said. It was not immediately clear what caused the blast, but a witness at the scene told Reuters that the masked gunmen with backpacks attacked the army headquarters after the explosion. A Reuters witness said the smaller explosion came from the headquarters after a first larger blast that security forces were converging on the scene. As to whether it is a coup d'etat or whatever, we're not very sure of it. Yeah, which is going on at the moment. BBC is saying that gunfire and explosions have been heard near the army headquarters and the French embassy in the capital of Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou. Witnesses have reported seeing armed men getting out of a car and opening fire. Pictures from the scene showed a cloud of black smoke rising into the sky. It is not yet clear who is behind the attack. As to whether it's a coup d'etat, as to whether it's just some of this insurrection, maybe this what do you call them? This is it Boko Haram or those who are inclined with all these terrorist groups? Is as whether it's one of them who are doing that, because we know that they are in that hub of Africa. They are West Africa. That's in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, and they keep on. So we'll be following that story closely, and we'll be bringing you updates as it comes. But Frank, this is another worrying trend, because we talk about Burkina Faso, we're just talking about Ghana virtually. It's just up there.
Is it Botswana or Burkina Faso?
Burkina Faso.
That is an unstable country. It's been unstable for some time now. That's the worrying situation. We'll follow the development because I thought it was Botswana, I would have been surprised. Because
Burkina Faso,
because Botswana is one of the most stable countries that we have, and it would have been a blow, a very big blow to whatever Africa stands for. Because for now they are showing the way in terms of the way they run their country, which education system, whatever, for other African countries, some of us will call in to go and learn from them. Burkina Faso has been an unstable country for some time now. From the days of their former leader, there has been internal between we'll wait for more information coming up.
The French ambassador has tweeted that there's an attack on the way. That's what he said. And the national police have issued a statement saying that special forces are in action. So whatever the special forces are doing, as whether they are fighting this group of whether army or rebels or terrorists, we'll be following suit and we'll let you know as the news comes in. Okay. But this is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's 11, that's 11 minutes past 12. At 12:30 exactly, we'll be having our money man joining us, and he will be having a look, or we'll be having a look at tax credit. Tax credit. You want some money in your pocket? My goodness, listen to us, and he will make sure you have got some money in your pocket, as we say. Now, finally, before we leave the world front, we have Theresa May to set out UK tests for Brexit deal. Now, Prime Minister Theresa May will set out 5 tests for a future UK-EU deal.
Okay.
And pledge to bring our country together in a major speech on Friday. The deepest possible free trade deal is achievable because it is in both EU and UK's interest, she will argue. She is expected to set out details of how the UK will seek to mirror EU rules in some areas and diverge in others.
Yeah.
And a cabinet minister said she will also stress the UK can't get everything we want from Brexit talks. Are we going? Are we not going? Are we going to get what we want? Are we not going to get what we want? Uncertainties.
Going, we are going. Okay. That's certain. But whether we are using trotro, a taxi,
or we'll be walking,
another question. And again, whether we are taking all our clothes, all our knickers, all our shoes, pens, papers, is another, and how we're going to look at what they call where we are living. Are we going to be Agokoli, where the people ran away from Agokoli and they never turn back?
Reverse.
Reverse. Or we're going to leave and then look back and say, these are our brothers. They're like the way or they took them and stole them from Africa, took them to the plantations in the US, dumped them back in Jamaica and other things. They still see Nigeria, Ghana as home. Is that what we're going to do? That's a question. And the calls for a soft Brexit is increasing. I was following Tony Blair's latest intervention.
Did you hear that of John Majors as well?
No, I didn't. Where Tony Blair was calling for a second referendum. That if EU can reform itself a little bit in terms of the immigration, then he is certain that Brexit can be rejected at the second referendum. And he was emphatic about second referendum.
And John Major was also emphatic about it. He said they should give Parliament the opportunity to vote when they've gotten the final decision. And if they don't like it, they should send the negotiators back. But if they fail to do that, then the public should be made to go for a second referendum to say maybe we don't want to go anymore.
So the calls are, increasing. The voices are becoming loud and louder. Now, if you look at what is expected to be said, I think it's underway now at Mansion House.
Yeah.
What does she mean by deeper trade relations? Is that not similar to what Corbyn is calling for?
Yeah.
That custom, they might you can call a big cat what they call it, give it any name that a tiger or what it's still
an ass.
It's still a big cat. Are you getting me? So at the end of the day, if you don't want to accept the fact that we need to be in a custom union and you want to say that okay, we'll call something trade relationship but mirror customs union. We'll still say a union of trade and this. It's very difficult, and she's also promising that there will not be a hard Brexit, a hard border at Ireland. Now, the tactical move EU made this time was to put their proposal before her speech.
Yeah,
which means that they have that this is what we are ready to offer. They have rejected some of those. The mayor and her team have rejected some of those stands, especially on the hard border of. And then they are saying, okay, then come up with a better alternative, which push the government to a very, very tight corner. Let's wait and see what she's able to roll out. But actually, I don't see any clear path going forward. I don't know. I don't see how you're going to be able to say you're not going to trade with them unless you're going for a hard Brexit. But that again is going to be very difficult because you're looking at what is happening between the EU, Canada, US now striking, and Canada and EU coming closer. The BRICS, the Brazil and the
Mexicans
are also coming out. You know, the Asians are also coming, and there's another platform between the Asians and the Southern Americans. And they are forming another strong alliance over there. I do not see how Britain is going to. I mean, the only possible soft target now is
Africa,
Commonwealth countries, precisely. Starting from Nigeria, the most populous country. And I am not surprised that within the last 60 days, certain strategic moves have been made. One, the mind-controlled game has been unveiled by the launch of BBC, Yoruba, and Hausa service officially in Nigeria.
And even Pidgin.
Pidgin, that Pidgin has been for about a year now. But they've just officially launched BBC, Yoruba, and Hausa. And it's about 10%, 8 to 10% of Africans speak Hausa. Which is a very, very powerful language. Are you getting me? So, and BBC has been, or UK has been so influential globally, partially because of BBC. Because every corner of this earth has a BBC World Service cover. And I recall when my dad would wake up every 3 a.m.
and they tune it on.
Tune in to BBC. So before he steps out of his house, BBC has already conscientized him and actually, brainwashed him before he steps out. And that's exactly what they're doing. The second move that they made was the fact that they want to now recognize Naira as the official trading currency. That again is a very strategic move that they've made. And 170 million population in Nigeria, due to overtake US population probably in 2040, which who will be stupid not to bring them in earlier on. So actually, I don't see how it's going to play out. It's very, very difficult from where I say. Commonwealth countries, yes, but it means we are in trouble. The countries I love, Africa, we are in trouble because it means they're going to be dampened stuff on us, which
is going to destroy our own local economy as well.
Last year, another move was unleashed when they said they were going to be granting 6 months visas to Ghanaians to come in. And who are those who are going to force 6 months visa up and down? Most people from that business and other stuff.
What are they come to do?
Import. Buy, go and sell. Buy, go and sell. So you realize that Britain is actually consistently pushing, trying to make good of what the decision they made. But it's going to be very, very difficult. They need a bit of compromise, and they have to compromise on certain stance. And it's good that she's acknowledging that Britain will not get everything that he wants. Laying the ground firmly that we have to concede on certain fronts if we really want the Brexit that we want. Let's see how it plays out. By Monday, we would have understood fully what the message she's giving to the public actually intends to achieve and what is it for.
Okay, listeners, this is Star Radio UK. It's 12:20. Let me acknowledge Algin Caballero Gasula. Okay, Algin, I hope you are doing very well. And Clarence D. Ismail, all the way in Monrovia, Liberia, he says, "You dear children are from God and have overcome them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world." 1 John chapter 4 verse 4. Good morning, and I'm watching live from Monrovia, Liberia. And then what do you call him, Reverend or Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, we say good afternoon to you. Nyamimba Berima Kwame, that's my baby brother. Good afternoon to you, and thanks very much for also tuning or joining us to what you can do for us. Share the page with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like the pages. If you are listening to us on our apps, you can also share it with your friends and the link. Share it with your friends and loved ones. Let them go to their app store and download it all for free. iOS and Android, we have done it paid and dusted. Just go there and get it all for free. Okay, the updates coming in from Burkina Faso. Gunfire and an explosion have been heard near the army headquarters and French embassy in the capital of Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou. Witnesses have reported seeing armed men getting out of a car and opening fire before heading towards the embassy. An attack is underway. The French ambassador has tweeted pictures from the scene showed a cloud of black smoke rising into the sky. It is unclear who is behind the violence. The National Police have issued a statement saying special forces are in action. A statement on the French embassy's Facebook page said it was not clear which locations are being targeted. It appears to be a twin assault at the city's military barracks and the embassy are about 1 kilometer, half a mile apart. So Ouagadougou has suffered 2 major attacks by Islamic militants in the last 2 years, and they don't know whether it's that same militants who are perpetrating this act at the moment. But if you are listening to us and you are around those places, please take shelter. Don't go out going to try to snoop around to see, because we don't know exactly what is going on. But stay away. You can watch things through your windows if you have to, but stay safe first. That is more important, and then later on we can have a chat about that. Okay. We just got 8 minutes to have our conversation, and then we'll be joined by our money man himself, Mr. Dan Tabiri. Now, let me take one story from Ghana, a very interesting one, from the founder of the NDC. Rawlings sparks anger in NDC over political armed robbery comment. Now, the former president, Jerry John Rawlings, concerns over the recent spate of armed robbery in the country has angered a section of National Democratic Congress, that the party that he formed. Now, less than 24 hours after the founder of the NDC is reported to have stated that he hopes the crimes are not politically motivated. Now, members of his party seem to suggest the former head of state is indirectly accusing the Umbrella family. But if you look at the statement that he made, Mr. Rawlings on Thursday was reported to have said, "Let us hope that the recent robbery and killings is downright plain robbery and not a politically motivated action from within or without, calculated to undermine those in charge of the security machinery in order to pave the way for certain parochial ambitions." So you see where it came from. He didn't categorically say that, from without, but he said from within or without.
Actually, if NDC members are angry with Jerry, it's unjustified. I do not see why they should be angry with him. Actually, from where I see, when certain things are happening, the first thing you need to do is look at all the possibilities. This is a man who has been a military man. This is a man who have had access to intelligence. This is a man who has witnessed a lot of things. There was a time when we had politically motivated women being spread on the streets. Women were taken from the mortuaries and were spread on the street. Corpses just to achieve political aim. Everything is possible. And as a politician, he's seen it all. If this is not a possibility, let's start eliminating the likely possibilities. I do not see anything wrong with what he said at all. And I stand to be, I mean, I know people disagree with me, and these people will agree, but that's their own headache. Because from where I sit, Jerry is saying, let's hope. In the anyway, just last week or two, didn't we have a politically motivated robbery at what do you call it, Kofrudia, where an MPP, an MPP aspiring organizer and their people attacked another MPP guy to steal ballot in their own house? Is that not politically motivated? So for me, I do not see where people are actually. Listen, for any analysis that you're doing, is this a possibility? Yes, it's a possibility. Could it be that someone is doing? We never know. It could be yes, it could be no. But it is good to identify all the likely possibilities so that the security agencies can even start eliminating them. Okay, this might not be so. Where is this person? If we've arrested, who is he linked to another thing? Haven't you seen politicians sponsoring people to even commit crime? Recently, was Canada, Japan not saying that politicians planted people to kill him. So I have no problem with what Jerry has said. If NDC people think it's a headache to them, let you go for some paracetamol.
Okay, they'll go for paracetamol. But I'm gonna call out online. Let me see who is there. Hello.
Oh, hello. This is Kofi Ali again.
Okay, hello, Kofi. This is going to be a brief one because 12:30 we have to just go. So a brief one.
I thought the plan was for us not to talk earlier very well.
No, well, if you listen to the program outline that I gave, I said at 12:30 we have our money man coming on.
Yes, I heard that.
Okay, good. So
what
let's go.
What I couldn't hear is that our discussion, we learn to have time to discuss, but let's go on.
Yes, go on.
What is the population of Ghana? Just 27 million. And with 27 million people, we are talking about security. Actually, we are talking about policing. But we define policing as security, which is part of the security system. Now, when you are talking about security, what are you talking about? Intelligence gathering. Is that not true?
Yes.
Are we saying in Ghana we don't have intelligence enough? Using the community support, neighborhood team, the police forces, and other institutions, schools, and so on, to gather enough intelligence for us to stop speculating and be able to address security issues and nip them in the bud where we have to? The purpose of the police is to prevent crime, not only to act when the crime is taking place, but to preventing it in advance, which also include what we call gathering of intelligence. We can't have police everywhere every time.
But so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, because what we are looking at the statement that the former President Rawlings made. Do you agree with what he has said? Because he is somebody who has been in there, seen everything, had intelligence. I mean, virtually coming to him every time, and he's saying that
is not helping anyone with what he's saying. He is in a position to understand that we are not running a military regime. Police are those to run and manage the state of Ghana. In so doing, he should be aware that the intelligence, the structure, lighting system, employment, all these things are sick. And if they are lacking, police cannot be functional. Simple as ABC. So what he's talking about is not, maybe let us go and bring the pastors to come and tell us that. Because this is what you call prophecy, sitting down and then telling people snow is good. What are your bases for the statement you are making? You cannot continue to be doing what we have done for almost 50 years. That didn't take us anywhere. Before Rawlings, there were armed robbers, there were insecurity in Ghana. Rawlings took over government of Ghana because of insecurity. 20-something years, and he's telling us the same thing, and we are listening to him. And so he's saying that some people are doing. If you know what they are doing, you should tell us exactly what's happening. I don't know what I understand. So Rawlings is more intelligent than the security network of Ghana.
Kofi, I am finding it difficult.
What are we talking about?
I'm finding it difficult because at the end of the day, this is what President said. He used it's a conditional clause.
We hope,
which means that it could be a possibility, right? It could be a possibility if Kofi, for instance, is saying that Rawlings re-emerge or emerge as a result or partially as a result of insecurity. Could it be that, and especially if we have been told that the police are letting or renting out arms, is there a possibility that someone is staging the stage for political, what do you call it, motives? And this is a statement that is alleged to be coming from what they call Mahama, which an intervention a few minutes ago from
former President Mahama.
Former President. According to JDM, which is a German, he says, and I quote, we in the NDC should exercise patience in how we respond to the recent submission of Chairman Rawlings in regards to the robberies and killing saga that is engulfing the nation. Chairman Rawlings, we should know, is a connoisseur of governance, and IGM don't see anything wrong with what Chairman Rawlings said. Seeing he started by saying, "Let us hope it's a downright plain robbery." If so, then Chairman Rawlings is charging the security apparatus to be up and doing. He added, "We should hope it is not a political motivation from within or without calculated to undermine those in authority for selfish parochial interests," unquote. And therefore, I quote JDM, which is John Mahama, think that Chairman Rawlings took a clever stand from the forensic point of view in investigating crime, and he must be applauded for that. I mean, that is a former president.
Yeah.
I keep on, sometimes the information they've had access to, and they know. We have no, I mean, not even 1% of things that they have. Listen, we know Rawlings' time, a lot of coups were attempted and they were foiled.
Yeah.
You never know anything. So for me, he said, let's hope. And if I were a security officer, could that be a possibility? Could that be an angle? What are those who might?
Now, let me come in. You see, when Rawlings was in the system, it's different from Rawlings outside the system. He's now an ex-head of state, so there are so many information he doesn't have. All of us are aware and know very well that weapons are getting into wrong hands, and some of them from within the security service. Is that not true?
Yes.
What we should be talking about is how is the policing working itself that weapons are escaping, and what are the mechanisms? We should have brought this thing long ago. So if we have Rawlings who can easily call the president, call the commissioner of police, and tell them that this is what he thinks is the case, check your officers.
Kofi, does that make what Rawlings said wrong? That is a question.
Let me tell you where.
Kofi, we have to go.
Kofi,
we have to go.
Let me ask you
what Rawlings said, become a challenge in the sense that.
But does that make what he said wrong? Does that make what he said wrong?
Let me make my case, please. We have to go. What Rawlings said, what some people are saying Rawlings said is that the armed robbers now are caused by the NDC people who are out of government.
He never said that. He never said that.
He didn't say that, but that is what some people are interpreting. I mean,
a lot of people who might be interpreting.
Probably
they are suffering from pseudo hallucination.
My brother, That is not good for the party because the party is looking like the party is encouraging armed robbery in Ghana
NDC should go and look for paracetamol.
The sitting authority.
Then, if from where I sit, I agree 100% with Rollins, and I side with GM. I mean, Mahama's intervention in this. And if members of NDC thinks Rollins has misspoken or he's actually put them in a light that makes them to be instigating, then they should go and look for paracetamol and cure their headaches. Because I don't see anything wrong with that.
To be honest with you, you see,
Kofi, we have to go. Kofi, we have to go. Our money man is on the line now, so I don't have to hold him.
Yes, the money man is on the line, but in fact, I really wanted to talk about the so-called our inability to effectively engage in the international community.
We will talk about that on Monday. We can't do anything about it now.
You even put on tomorrow is Saturday.
I said Monday. Kofi, you have to get some message.
What you even said that shocked me is that the British want to promote the Naira. They are promoting Igbo. They are promoting Hausa. They are promoting so that they will destroy the echo.
Okay. Kofi, we'll talk about the echo on Monday, please.
Whatever they do, we will launch that echo and it will go on. We now know they are tricked.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kofi.
Our money man needs to be talking about echo because it's all about money.
Well, listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and it is now gone 12:35, and we have our money man who is on air now, and I'll be going to him. Just stay tuned and you don't touch the dial. Okay. Mr. Tabiri. Hello.
Hello, Archie.
Yes,
hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Frank.
Yes, Frank says afternoon to you, sir. Yes. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. I'm good. It's very cold.
Oh, it is. It is. We are in the studio, so we still have our jackets on. Okay, sir. Yes. I hope the family and everyone is doing well.
Yes, everybody is fine.
Good.
I'm working from home at the moment. So
okay.
Pardon me if you have any feedback from the noise, you can imagine.
No problem, sir. No problem. Okay. Yes, for the past couple of 3 weeks ago, we started discussing the tax credit, and today you said we're going to be continuing with that. Yes. So over to you, sir.
Right. So yes, that's correct. We started looking at tax credit, and we have already looked at working tax credit.
Mm-hmm.
So today I want us to move on to the other side of tax credit, which is child tax credit.
Okay.
Now, for child tax credit, if you remember the previous weeks that we looked at working tax credit to qualify, one of the criteria was that you were working a certain number of hours.
Mm-hmm.
For child tax credit, it does not matter at all whether you are working or not. The criteria is whether you have a child and that your child is age 16, under 16, or if they are over 16, they are in an approved or eligible education or training. Okay. If under between 16 and 20 years. So that's the criteria. A lot of people tend to confuse working tax credits and child tax credits.
Okay.
They think that they have to be working to claim child tax credit, but that is not correct at all. If you have a child that qualifies because of their age, and also if they are over 16, then they are in an approved education, then you can make a claim for child tax credit.
Okay. Yes, please go on.
Yeah, so child tax credit is gradually being replaced by universal credit. We will talk about universal credit at another time. At the moment, universal credit has been rolled out, but it only applies to people who are in certain areas. So for those who are already claiming universal credit, if they happen to be in those areas, this change would have already taken place. So
when you said those areas, what some areas, what do you mean by that? Is it communities or?
Yes, communities, geographical areas.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, some towns and cities that have been selected to they first started a testing of universal credit on them.
Okay.
And then this has been rolled out. Eventually, it's expected to cover everybody in the UK. But at the moment, it's been done on area by area basis.
Okay. And the age range there too still remains the same.
It still remains the same, but there are differences with the universal credit is that all other credits, tax credits, are put in the so you get a lump sum payment that cover all your other credits. So let's say you are on tax credits, you are on working tax credits, you are on unemployment benefits. All those type of benefits are calculated and are paid within universal credit, and there's also a cap on how much universal credit you can have. So it's not. We have to come back to universal credit to look at it.
That's it. Okay.
Because there are a lot more, different than what we have under the child tax credit and the working tax credit.
Okay. Yes. So let's go on with the child tax. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you said, you can only claim child tax credit if you have children, and you are responsible for that child. So it doesn't have to be your biological child.
Okay.
So long as you have responsibility for that child, whether adopted or whatever, you were looking after a child for somebody else, and you have responsibility, you will be able to make a claim for the child tax credit.
Okay.
Yeah. And the amount you get depends on when the child was born or the children were born. If all your children were born before the 6th of April 2017, you
6th of April 2017.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's about 9 months ago. So you get the child because there's been a change in the legislation. That's why the split. You get the child element of child tax credit for all your children. And then you also get the basic amount known as the family element. Okay?
Yes.
Now, if one of or more of your children were born after the 6th of April 2017, there were changes to the child tax credit amount. You can get the child element of child tax credit for up to 2 children. Then you might get the child element for more children as well if some exceptions apply. But you only get the family element if at least one of your children was born before 6th of April 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. So after 6th of April 2017, the family element of child tax credit has been taken away.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get you.
Yeah. So the basic amount for the family element is £545 a year, and the child element for each child is £2,780 a year. If you have a disabled child, then you are looking at £3,175 on top of the child element.
Okay.
Yeah, and also depending on the severity of the disability of the child, you can get up to £1,290 again on top of the disabled child element.
Okay, so all that you've said, now assuming someone is not it's not working, but got a child, would they enjoy all this?
Yes, so child tax credit does not matter whether you're working or not. So long as your child is under the age of 16, you can qualify. Obviously, you have to be UK UK national or UK resident.
Okay.
And you would qualify to make a claim.
All right. But from that the 6th of April 2017, the family element on it is gone.
It's gone. The family element is gone. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, go on, sir.
Also, if you move to the UK from the European Economic Area or the EC, as we would normally call it, you must wait 3 months before making a claim for child tax credit after you arrive in the UK.
Okay.
So you must wait 3 months before claiming child tax credit if you arrive in the UK from the European Economic Area. However, there are exceptions. If you come into the UK as a refugee, you can't make a claim for child tax credit straight away.
Okay. Yes, please.
So so that is for people obviously who are now making a claim. If you're already on the child tax credit, you're already claiming child tax credit. You know that your circumstances, changes in your circumstances, affect how much tax credits that you can get. So as we have mentioned before on other benefits, as soon as your situation changes, it affects your child tax credit.
And in this case, what is the situation? What is the situation that can change? Because I have a child.
Yeah, you have a child. Okay, so if the situation changing is your child turns 16, over the age of 16, and they are not in full-time education or approved training, then that is a situation change that can affect, your qualification.
Okay.
Yeah, so that has to be reported. If the child themselves want to start making a claim for themselves, then for other benefits for themselves, then that you can't make the child tax credit claim.
When they decide, okay, go on, please.
For example, if the child cannot claim child benefits for themselves, but what they can claim, for example, unemployment benefits. If they start claiming unemployment benefits, then you can't claim child tax credit for them.
All right.
And child tax credit is paid into a bank account for the person who is mainly responsible for the child. And this is usually paid 4 weeks from the date of claim up to the end of the tax year, the 5th of April.
Okay.
So this is paid every week or 4 weekly, depending on your preference. You can choose when you want to receive the payment, either weekly or monthly. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you are not already claiming the child tax credit, all you have to do is to call the child tax credit helpline, and they will send you a form to complete. You can also go online to HMRC www.gov.uk, search for child tax credit, and there are forms there that you can fill out to make a claim. So as we mentioned, if to make a claim for child tax credit, you need responsibility for a child. It doesn't have to be your biological child. So long as you have responsibility, you can make a claim for child tax credit on behalf of the child. Now, if we're talking about responsibility, this is a child that will live with you at all times, and that they normally live with you, and you are the main carer. All their belongings, their clothes, their toys are in your home. look after them in terms of their meals and any pocket money that they get. They live within the European Economic Area or Switzerland, but are financially dependent on you.
Okay.
So they don't even have to be in the UK. They can be outside the UK, in the European Economic Area.
Okay.
So if you take your child to Africa or Ghana, that you don't qualify.
You don't qualify. Okay, that was one question I was going to ask, because most of our people do that, and that's what I did, but you cleared it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if they are in the European Economic Area, yes, they will be entitled to. But if you move them outside this zone, I think when we looked at working tax child benefit, there were certain countries that you can move your child to, that you can still make a claim for child benefit. But those specific countries, UK has a taxation agreement with them, and so you are allowed to do that. But it doesn't apply with child tax credit.
Okay. Now let's come to one area where people get worried. I don't know whether it's the child tax credit that when from time to time we have the HMRC saying that they've overpaid you, and therefore they seek for a refund, and people now get panicky and they don't know what to do. Is it the child tax credit that brings about that?
Yeah, it could be both.
Okay.
It could be both. With the working tax credit, what normally happens is that if your working situation changes and you haven't updated HMRC, that can affect your entitlement to the claim.
Okay.
So that's one of the areas that easily this situation can arise, where you come to owe HMRC because they have overpaid you.
Okay.
Another area where this can happen is if your child is over the age of 16.
Yeah.
And it's not in an approved education. That is a change. If it's not reported, then your tax credit claim may be overpaid, and therefore they will ask you to do that, to pay it back.
Okay.
And then also you have to renew your child tax credit every year.
Okay.
That is one of the common areas as well that I've seen HMRC ask people to pay back tax credit that they paid, because if you don't renew your tax credits by the 31st of July each year, you lose entitlement. So all that they paid you in the previous year, they have to ask for it back.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is an area that people fail to do the renewal, and then HMRC would come back and say, pay us all the money. And usually it causes loads of problems, because this is enshrined in the law that brought into effect the tax credit. HMRC are very strict on this. I mean, if you miss the deadline, they will ask for the money back.
Okay, but a quick one. But if it happens that that child, is not that the child is overage, it's gone over 16, and maybe it's out of education or anything of the sort, but maybe it's oversight, or maybe the individual traveled. Is there a way to help reconcile the whole situation?
Well, I mean, there are exceptions where there are exceptional situations, exceptional reasons that for that reason you were not able to renew your claim.
Okay.
Then definitely HMRC will look at that. But like I said, it has to be very exceptional. Even when you are abroad, they have helplines that you can phone into and make a claim. You don't have to be in the UK. You can even do it abroad. You can even do it online.
Okay.
Yeah. So so long as you've taken the reasonable steps, or perhaps your health or physical enablement or your situation could not allow you to renew or make the claim, I think HMRC will consider that. Yes.
But how long should some of our people, maybe due to some challenges here and there, maybe it's not getting somebody to take care of the child, and they think, okay, I want to take my child back home for a period of time so that I can put myself together, and then this child comes back. Now, how long can somebody take their child, and if the child goes, then comes back, maybe if the child is gone a year, it's gone to Ghana, therefore doesn't qualify for that. Now, when the child comes back, can this the child benefit from this child tax credit again?
Yes, definitely. So long as the child is back in the country, and they are still under the age of 16.
Yeah.
Yes, then they would qualify. You can go back and make the claim again. Yes.
Okay. Under 16, they will qualify.
And the fact that you stopped claiming child tax credit at some point does not stop you or disqualify you from making a claim in the future.
And if it happens that somebody, maybe the child is away, but because it's not the child who is applying for the money, now the parent or the carer decides to, be renewing the child tax credit and everything. How does that one go?
Well, that's a scenario where if HMRC become aware that the child is not in the country, then definitely they are going to ask for the money back.
Oh, okay.
Yes, okay. Because one, you cannot show that you are responsible for that child, as we looked at before. They do not live with you. You do not keep their belongings in your home. You do not pay for their meals or give them pocket money. Well, you might be sending money.
Yeah, you might be sending money to them every time, buying stuff for them.
Yeah, so that will qualify you, but the other bit would disqualify you.
Oh, okay.
Because they do not live in the Europe. If they were living somewhere else, even in the European Union, then yes, but not in outside the European Union.
Okay. Yes. Please go on. I know our time is almost up, but go on, sir.
Yeah. So also, if you adopted or you fostered a child, you are qualified to make a claim for child tax credit on behalf of the child. Like we said, it doesn't have to be just your biological. Then you can also get extra child tax credit if either the child, is disabled, as we looked at before, and also they may get extra depending on the level of the severity of their disability. Yeah. So okay. that is child tax credit for you.
Okay. Listeners, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's now 4 minutes to the top of the hour. I have with me our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. For all your accounting issues, look no further. Just get in touch with him. His contact details are, if you want to call him, it is 079 48834. 079 48834. You want to email him, is Dan at gilaccountants.com. The accountant is with an S. It's Dan at gilaccountants.com. And he will sort out all your financial issues for you, accounting issues, let me say it that way, for you. Okay. Now, Mr. Tabiri.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Now, if someone might have not renewed their application, or this with the HMRC pertaining to this, and everything is gone wrong, what will you advise them to do now?
They should get in touch back with HMRC, and they would tell them what they need to do to get the tax credit restored. So it will mean renewing the tax credit, telling them HMRC what their income is or was for the previous year.
Okay.
And making a claim for the future years.
Okay.
If you are late renewing, what I don't know is whether HMRC would stop claiming back the tax that they've paid you in the previous year.
Oh, okay.
they can exercise some discretion. If you have a very good reason why you did not make the renewal, then definitely I'm sure they would consider it, yes.
But is there a need to contact an accountant or anything of the sort?
Yes, a professional person can look at your case and then, yes, advise what's the best position for you to take before you. I would recommend, if your case is a complex one, speak to an accountant and see whether there's a way to appeal your case, or deal with HMRC on your behalf.
Wow, so if you are listening to us, there is no need to panic if you find yourself in that situation, because get in touch with Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and he will help you sort it out. Yes, of course, you have to be paying some consultancy fee for that. But if you say you're from Starr Radio UK or via Starr Radio UK, you can get a rebate there as well. But Mr. Tabiri, before we go, can you put your details across to listeners once again?
Right. You can reach me on phone on 07961248834, 07961248834, and via email on dan@gilaccountants.com, dan@gilaccountants.com, and it's accountants with an S.
Okay. Mr. Tabiri, let me say thank you very much for another brilliant time with you.
You're most welcome. Looking forward to next week. Hopefully we can continue our series on benefits. We would be looking at unemployment benefits. So what happens, or what do you get if you are out of work, and what qualifies you?
Okay. So next week, unemployment benefit. On that note, we want to say thank you very much, Mr. Tabiri, and have a lovely weekend.
Same to you, and thank you to and your listeners.
Okay. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Listeners, that was Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. And like we said, if you want or any help pertaining to anything to do with accounting, and like we were discussing this afternoon, child tax credit, you've messed up, you don't know what to do, get in touch with him. Call him on 07961248834, 07961248834, or you can email him. That is dan@gilaccountants.com, dan@gilaccountants.com. The accountant is with an S, and he will help you out. On that note, we want to say thank you very much for tuning in to listen to us this afternoon or today on the Friday edition of the morning show. We know the weather might change during the course of the weekend. Hopefully from Sunday the temperatures will change a bit and will put us in a very comfortable position. But until then, wrap up warm wherever you are. Find yourself a very nice hot cup of tea or hot food. But check on your neighbors, especially the elderly ones. If not heard from them, go knock on the door. Find out what they are doing, and it might help. Okay, to avoid all lots of things. Even some of the young ones, if you've not seen your neighbor for some time, go next door or just knock on the door, check whether they are doing very well. On that note, we want to say thank you very much for tuning in. It's been me, the one and only Archie, Mr. Frank Davis, Olayomi Koiki, and Mr. Kofi Ali, my executive producer himself, Malik, and everyone who tuned in to listen to us today, Mr. Dan Tabiri and the family. We say, have a top of the day. Bye-bye for now. But enjoy this song from Wuta, of course. And your Brunya. Today is not Brunya, but we'll still enjoy it. Bye-bye for now.
Yeah, baby. I like the way you shake body. I get money. And then you bring my encode. Yeah, I swear I lie. Say, Woody, make sure you don't go sorry. Forget your worry. I dey come to spend so lash your money. What? Yeah. Yeah, bro, that I enjoy, bro. Yeah, bro. Ah, yeah, bro, that
Thanks for listening.
And now you're Friday. Oh, you will confirm me, Kwakoyi. My DB pay. Me compare baby, I sembesi. Me tu kokobi, me babe swako fia kochi. Hey, yeah, bro, Many, Wabina Gigi Weni, eh, Abuba Gigi Weni, Emery Papa Bini, Inti Shiji Weni, Jishi Weni, Kindi Buchi Weni, this is Shiji Weni, yeah, brother, me chance me ring and power see cut off. And then your Monday, you did me chia, you meet your meter. Me channel Friday, hashtag Dangote for Twitter. Yeah, brother.
I know. So